beyond the diversity of it, I was just really thrilled to be able to work with just talented actors. I mean, Toni Collette, Anna Kendrick, these are people that, anyone would be lucky to work with.
I play Zoe Levinson. I'm the ship's medical researcher. I'm sort of the voice of idealism when our crew encounters some problems.
I play a character named David Kim, who is a ship's biologist, and his task is to try and create an environment on Mars that makes it livable for humans, using algae and microgreens.
My character, Michael, is a space engineer who accidentally gets stuck. He falls unconscious and wakes up on a 2-year mission to Mars and realizes that he is beeped.
When you have a spaceship set that was entirely fully built, and then you have some amazing actors like Anna Kendrick, Daniel Dae Kim, and Toni Collette, Shamier Anderson, when you have all of that working for you, it just felt so wrong to cut. When that's the mood of the set, and when I'm telling the actors that that's going to be the approach, like, guys, nail this in one take, please. Then when the little red light comes on the camera, that's game on. Let's not flub this. Let's make this feel real right here, right now.
Yeah, from an acting perspective, we always try to live truthfully in our imaginary circumstances, and especially when you're in space, there's a lot of imagining that you have to do. But thankful to the crew who built an incredible set, which really helped with the idea of being in a confined space with the spaceship that they actually built. And for me to just take it a step further, as I was explaining earlier, I'm a pretty big, I'm 6'2", and so to be able to fit in that small space would be very uncomfortable. And so what I did was every morning I would sleep in the compartment where Michael was stowed away. So I would sleep there every morning for about 2.5 hours, 3 hours, to really get the aches and the pains and feel every part of my body in that space. So during the day, I was genuinely in pain. Like, I needed a physiotherapist after I was done filming that movie.
We sort of, pumped the brakes and stopped the table read cold because we ended up in this discussion about, what would you really do in that situation? And you get into stuff where Toni is going, well, doesn't Daniel's character have a child? And does that make, and it was like, no, well, he doesn't actually, but it's interesting that you would prioritize it in that way. And what, these really insanely heavy, moral, ethical conversations. I was more of a David, more of Daniel's character, the person who's going like, well, let's be practical, let's be realistic here. And it's obviously necessary for the film to have the practical person and the idealist person so that you can create some more of that tension.
The way that film industry works is just like, well, we need this kind of person, this kind of person, this kind of, and there's like assistants for all of those people. And I just started questioning all of that. For example, editing on set was a big question for us. It turned out to be so important because I could watch huge portions of it and say, oh, you know what? Like, if we have Anna Kendrick and Daniel Dae Kim having this massive emotional battle later in the film, then I can do a little something earlier where I can really show that they're friends and together. So, that kind of approach.
These characters are just who they are. Daniel Dae Kim and myself, we're just who we are. We're just, you never hear why Michael's black or his, him being African-American, or there's no poke or prod to that. It's just, he's a human going through human experiences, which is such a rarity, to be able to just see people who look like me just living life. We're just living life. It doesn't have to be a racialized thing. It's just what it is. And that's what I love the most about this script. To be honest with you, to the point where I was just like, is there a catch? Is there going to be a catch here? Are they just like reading me and casting me for the sake of their quotas or anything like that? But nah, Joe Penna and his team, they just casted me, and I was just, from what they said, the best guy for the job, which I love the most about, filmmakers and stories that are like that.
Well, of course, the diversity of the cast is something that attracted me to the role. When I first heard that it was Tony and Anna and Shamier, who I didn't know at the time. That's always something that I look at when considering something. But beyond the diversity of it, I was just really thrilled to be able to work with just talented actors. I mean, Tony Collette, Anna Kendrick, these are people that, you know, anyone would be lucky to work with.
Yeah, I confess I was like, oh, I would be the person going like, come on, let's be reasonable here. Like we're gonna have to make some hard choices. Let's deal with it.